Well, Jimmy, I think this is traditionally a sort of time in the season when people start to have one eye on the Crucible and the World Championship. I know that's a tournament and a venue that you have great history at. Just in terms of your career at the moment, how much of a dream and ambition would it be to get back there again?
Well, I haven't been there for 10 years, and I normally go to China sort of this time of year for some demonstrations and a couple of small tournaments. I've decided not to go. I'm playing in Causden, and I'm putting in proper practice, 3 or 4 hours every day. That doesn't sound like a lot, but it is from someone of my age, because of concentration. So I think I've got a good chance this year to get to the Crucible. But obviously, it's there's so many good players out there, You've only got to have half a bad day a session, even though it's best of 19, and you're on your way home. So, but that's what I love about it, the Crucible and the qualifying. It's our blue ribbon tournament. Everybody wants to get to Sheffield.
In terms of that qualifying, the depth in standard is so high nowadays. If you look at it comparatively to, say, 25 years ago, would you say some first-round qualifying matches are almost as tough as a first-round Crucible match?
Absolutely. There's so many strength with the Chinese players. There's, I think, in the next maybe 5 years, I think you're going to be half the top 16 are going to be Chinese. Maybe 7 or 8 years, because they're that good. And so really you need, for me to get to the Crucible, A, I have to be sharp, which I will be, and B, I have to sort of dodge a couple of bullets, like, there's going to be some top players there. So, but the good thing for me, it's over best of 19, so the best player should win.
I just wanted to kind of have a look at some of your most significant moments at the Crucible. The first one, in terms of the timeline of your career, that kind of came to mind for me was that semi-final with Alex Higgins in 1982. I know it didn't go your way, but it was a kind of an iconic match in that era. What were your kind of defining memories of that game?
I've had a lot that didn't go my way, but I've had a lot that did go my way. That match with Alex Higgins, they say it's one of the greatest of all time. Higgins done a clearance from 67 behind to stay in the match, which they say is the best clearance ever. And I was 18 at the time, sort of a bit green. And obviously, I missed the black 17 each with Hendry, also 14-8 up with Hendry, and sort of writing my speech, and all of a sudden I looked round and it was 14-12. So it was, I've had some disasters, but I've had some fantastic memories there. I've been in, also I've been in a few semi-finals. I've had a 1-4-7 there, and there's nothing like playing in the Crucible when you get one table situation. It's the most riveting place to be at.
You mentioned the losses in those finals to Stephen Hendry. I suppose that was kind of a defining rivalry of the 90s.
Yeah.
But you did have that win in 1998, the 10-4 victory. Given what had gone before, how special was that one for you?
Yeah, because he'd not lost for 2 years, and I went 8-1 up in the first session, so I was in as much shock as I think as anybody else, because he was playing the best snooker of his life then. So that was a great victory. I also beat him 13-12 in the second round once, but 3 of the finals he slaughtered me, and one, I think, was 14-8 up. I sort of let that slip,
And the 1-1-4-7 of your career also came at the Crucible. It was at the time the second at the Crucible. How special was that for you? Yeah,
it's nice, to have a 1-4-7 at any tournament, but to have it at the World Championship is very special. There's a lot of pressure on it. And to make one, Fulburn was the first one, to make the second one the first British player to do it, I'm very proud of that. It can be the best venue and the worst venue. If you're focused, you can't hear anything. You've just got the table, even though there's only 900 people in there. But if you're not focused, you've not prepared, or you're not right, you can hear people talking, saying, give me one of them red wine gums instead of a black one. You're not tuned in, and it's that sort of intimate place. It can either be your best friend or your worst enemy.
And what do you think the feeling would be like if you heard Rob Walker announce the Whirlwind at the Crucible?
I would be absolutely delighted, and I'm going to give it everything I got to get there.
Well, thanks for speaking to us, and
my
good
pleasure.
luck.
Cheers.
Thanks.